So maybe we should introduce ourselves as if we're starting from scratch, like the beginnings. So welcome to Mindfully Thrive with a cup of tea.
Tea time.
Tea
Cheers.
time. Cheers. So those of you that know me, I'm Ella, and I've been hosting Mindfully Thrive for one season, but this season we're back with Joya, who was also with me in one of the episodes of Mindfully Thrive. So Joya, you can introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Joya and I'm back. So I'm happy to be here and happy to talk about all things mindful and all things thrive. Let's
So let's
flow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the 5th of January. So what better time to start by maybe having a reflection on 2024 and setting some intentions or what we tend to do around the new year, and maybe sharing with others our thoughts on that as
Yeah.
well.
So was it last year that we got together and created that vision board? We did all
Yes,
the vision board planning. Yes.
that's right. And I
And
set
we
myself an intention of a word over the vision board itself and imagery. I was more focused on the feelings of experiences and how I wanted my year to feel within my body. So I didn't have a clear focus at the beginning of the year what that was going to look like, but I did know how I wanted to feel as I traveled throughout last year.
you want to share this word? What was your word?
So it was experiences and expansion. I think expansion also was a word that I kept playing with, not that I really knew how that was going to feel, but it felt like I needed to step out of the everyday work and do different things, sort of live a little bit more vibrantly and brightly. So yeah, I feel like those experiences that last year brought me really, really resonated with manifesting those things.
Okay, so like what were some of those experiences? Like, okay, your goal was to experience new things, expand, and did you?
Did I expand? I think I did. Yes, I did. Not necessarily in the ways I thought I was going to when I set that word. And definitely I had a year of loads of experiences, from lots of concerts and births, marriage, death, all
Mhm.
sorts of things were happening along the year. But each month brought me a really special moment that I shared with other people. So we went to Taylor Swift, you and I, back in May.
We did. That was very special.
So that was a trip to Lisbon, as well as the concert itself, with Megan and Ellen, my daughters. And so it felt really fun to get away on a girls' weekend and yeah, share a really big experience for them. It was their first concert as well. So I felt like that's expansive, not just for me, but also for my children. Like that
Yeah.
felt really fun.
And even if it's not your first, like a Taylor Swift concert is an experience.
Exactly. And that was coinciding with my first grandchild. So that was also very expansive for me as a becoming a grandmother. So that Taylor Swift concert came about at the end of May, and Yori was born just before that. So I managed to go back to Wales to visit him and meet my grandchild. And then we went back again in June to spend time with him as a family. So even like just as the family situations and dynamics were changing, I felt like from the beginning of the year, there was a lot of growth in it. Like, I think I'm missing. Oh, yeah, we also went away in March for my birthday. There were lots of small weekends away that were really special. And then we had an Ed Sheeran concert that we also went to together.
We did. Yes.
And I also managed to go to Coldplay with my family, which was like one of the concerts I had been hoping to go to for so long, since the last time I went back in 2001. So that was a special concert for me and my husband as well, because we went to that concert in our early dating years. So it was nice to travel back through time, through music together. That was really lovely. And that was at the end of August. Also in August was the wedding of my son, and my sister, a daughter-in-law. So again, really big moments as a family.
Yes.
And
Monumental.
yeah, and they just kept coming. And basically we finished the year, the very last day of the year, with the theatre production of the Book of Mormon, which was like off the street. Do you have any tickets available? Yes, we do. And they were really, really, really budget prices, but for premium seats. So it felt like a real accumulation of events coming together at the end of the year. So I do feel like I manifested a lot of things last year. Yeah.
Excellent.
And what
So,
about you?
yeah, okay. I had a very pivotal year. Um, you were part of a lot of these things. I think it started for me. We created our little vision board of what we wanted to do. Um, and I had my professional goals or my relationship goals or my lifestyle goals. And some of them flew um, or yeah, flowed together much more effortlessly than others. But I think the magical one was my whole professional goal, lifestyle change. I had this vision of like building my yoga online business because I really wanted the freedom of working online. Um, just because my son lives in America now and I need to see him as much as possible. So I want that freedom to just pick up and go,
So
work there if I want.
what was
Yeah.
preventing that before then? So how was that like?
Well, my lifestyle here, I had a stable job here that only allowed me to travel certain times of the year. So I was working towards like growing my yoga business just because I love yoga as well. So I thought like that is the way to go online and build a business. And I mean, I'm not taking away from like growing into yoga because we also started doing our yoga events at the
Yeah,
weekend.
and I should
And
have
that
included
was
that.
so special. Like hosting those yoga weekends, brunch, yoga and meditation. Just stepping into that zone and working with people was a huge leap outside of my comfort zone. And now it just feels like such a gift. So thank you for doing that with me. And as we were doing that, one of my old connections showed up. He came to one of those weekends and we reconnected. And a couple weeks later, he asked me if I knew anyone who had who was interested in working in his online business. And at first, I was trying to think of somebody who could do that. And I was like, wait a minute, I want to work online. So yes, I took that opportunity and now I work with him and I'm working remotely. I have that freedom that I was looking for. So I feel like that was a huge manifestation. And yeah, did I do something to make it happen? I think the visualization, the seeing myself as a person who works remotely, maybe not in this sector, but it was in the yoga sector in my mind, but it was working remotely. And I think just taking action, like those sessions, those yoga sessions, doing things that are different to the norm brought new things into my circle.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
taking aligned action, unknowingly what it's going to produce at the end of it,
yeah,
basically. Just stepping
I think,
into the saying yes of everything. That feels good.
yeah, that's what it felt like for sure. So I'm
So
ready for more this year. And what about you?
me too. I feel like we've been really lucky to be so close in proximity with each other, to be able to keep bouncing these sort of ways of seeing the world and ways of growing off one another all along the journey, way back from when we had a blog, even before then when we tried a website, and then we did the masters and traveling to Madrid together every weekend. And so we've really kind of had that gift of finding someone who you can feed off and connect with in a personal growth way. So I feel really
Yeah,
blessed to have had you throughout these years. And I do love tapping in and out and just like doing our own thing. And now again, coming together again. And last year we came together for the Breakfast Club, and hopefully that will continue to grow. But we also have a
Yeah,
lot
so
more
wait,
ideas.
let's give like a little shout out to the Breakfast Club people. If you're listening and you want a session,
Yes.
we share all of these practices with you at the next yoga breakfast beatnik session.
Yeah, we're hoping to do a day retreat where we craft our vision and goals for 2025. Yes.
Yes.
How are you feeling about this year? What's
Excited.
coming up? Yeah, excited.
Yes, very excited. And I don't know, like what's coming up in what sense?
Well, because in this world, I have heard and I have been listening to people like Jenna Zoe and various others talking about a new paradigm, lots of things changing, time is speeding up, we are becoming much lighter beings. There's a lot of energy going around. There's lots of outer planets changing. Not that I know that much about astrology, but I do feel like I'm moving into this year with a sense of speed, not with urgency. I also recognize that I am sitting in a waiting sort of time, but there's a speeding up happening. I noticed the end of last year was moving really, really quickly as well.
But so do you mean like lots of things happening, or like you're feeling impatient?
I feel like there's going to be a lot of things happening, and I'm not even impatient towards those things anymore. Whereas maybe last year there was more of a sense of impatience about wanting to get somewhere. I don't feel like I've arrived at where I want to get to, but I do feel like I'm much more centered on the path, even though that whole path is unknown to me. I don't even know where it's going.
Yeah, and I think it's never ending. You're never going to get there, right?
No,
You
but
get to the next milestone, the next.
yeah, but I really do feel like having really set a clear intention last year. I've also been using the To Be Magnetic work. So that's really kept me focused with intention throughout the year. And so now looking back and seeing what I have created and what we have done as well together feels really rewarding and satisfying. Like in hindsight, I feel like I succeeded in a year,
Yeah.
even though necessarily on the outside it might not look like there's much changed. I feel like I've changed a lot because I've shown myself that I can do this work and I can show up, create stuff. It's actually happening in front of me.
That's where the real change should be, I think, that's what we're going for anyways, that feeling, right?
Yeah.
So
And so
it
the
doesn't
feeling for
on the outside.
this year,
Yeah.
do you have words for this year that you are aiming or looking at as an intention?
I haven't chosen my words with intention. I've done the little crossword puzzle things and I've gone for those. I think one was connection. I love that word. I really want connection this year. It had miracles. I'm like, yes, I love miracles. Bring them on. What else came up in the little crossword? I think alignment. So I think that's really important if you're aligned with your path, not somebody else's path. And I don't know. There's another one, but I think it was creation. Exactly.
Oh, nice.
So perfect. Yeah, create something. Create those miracles.
Yeah.
So
well, my words this year are certainty. I'm to live in certainty. Magic, because I just feel that magic is happening in every moment. It's everywhere. Impact and beauty, which has always been a word for me. Like last year, I also had magic and beauty.
And you had impact. These are your words.
Yeah, these are my words. This year, certainty is a new word. Okay. That is something that I'm really wanting to practice. Having certainty around things and living from that place of trust, letting go of lack and fear, and just really leaning into a daily practice that looks more not even ritualistic. It's more of a way of being rather than doing.
Okay, so let's hear. What would this be?
So what does that look like? Well,
Yeah.
again, it comes back to mindfulness, practicing mindfulness, but really practicing the gift that's in front of me, even when it doesn't look like a gift. So situations that make me feel like that I want to react in, I'm just pausing into them and allowing those moments of maybe wanting to react. So maybe it's frustration or anger or annoyance or irritation, that it's actually just giving me something for me to see I need to change in myself. So like transformation within the minutes, in the seconds.
Okay,
That makes
so your
sense?
daily practice is all day, every day.
Yeah. Which is
Okay.
basically how you practice being mindful. Like it is really
Yeah.
about like not sitting and doing nothing, like not sitting and meditating for 20 minutes necessarily alone, but like how people come to me and as a gift for me to be patient, or as a gift for me to recognize something in myself. And it's all the
And
time.
that creates like a moment of gratitude. You're grateful for them creating that
Well,
experience
that's
for
the transformation part where you're catching
yeah,
yourself in a okay, like
yeah.
the PM says, you know, you pause and you say, what a pleasure, you're giving me a gift, and just keep
Right.
practicing that moment.
And when you do find the true gratitude after, I think that's when you've found it.
Yeah, but it's not a oh thank you or a fake gratitude. You know,
No,
you
you
have to
found.
really breathe into it and see
Mm,
why it is a gift for you in that
mm-hmm.
moment.
And then you are filled with peace. It's a different
Yeah.
feeling.
And that's,
Yeah.
I think, how we become more magnetic, and how we can
Mm-hmm.
create magic and bring things
Mm-hmm.
about in
Mm-hmm.
in the moments by moments. So does
Any
that
other practice, or just like that's it? That's your focus.
well, that's my biggest focus, because I think
Mm-hmm.
that that is the hardest one to crack. Like
Yeah. Oh,
things that
definitely.
are
I think people
daily,
are our playground. Like,
yeah, interactions with everything and
mm.
everyone around us. And then my practice of what I finished the year doing, which was running, which is something I've
Oh,
been wanting to tackle again for a while. So
uh-huh.
I completed the Couch to 5K again at the end of December. And so my commitment to my well-being is to continue running, stretching,
Mm-hmm.
Pilates, and really making time for what I know nourishes my body. My
Mm-hmm.
morning practice, which is very short, but connecting to the light. And
Like meditation, or is this Pilates, like movement?
no, meditation, but it's a very short meditation. But before getting up, just really connecting to the light of the creator and just allowing the day to guide me and for everything I need to show up, because it's already within me. But we can talk more about that in another episode.
Perfect.
Yeah, those kind of,
Yeah.
but rituals for the year, I'm going to continue with To Be Magnetic and really finish this authenticity challenge that I've been doing. And yeah, just tapping into feeling light and good day by day.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah. So when you say feeling light and feeling good, I associate that with feeling flow or flow state. And that's my
Mm.
thing. Like, I love finding flow through yoga, flow through breathing, flow through meditation, and flow through challenge. So, something that I heard recently and I really liked is in yoga, there is a term for bliss. It's called ananda.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when you are in flow state, or when you are meditating, or when you find that runner's high, that high, your body is producing a chemical called anandamide.
Mm.
Ananda, so it's the bliss
All
molecule.
right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that is really cool. And like, that is all of my practices revolve around that, like tapping into the bliss molecule. So in the morning, I like to start with a breathing practice, meditation, sometimes just self self-guided. Sometimes I turn on YouTube or whatever, listen to somebody else, but start my mornings with a meditation. So I tap into that bliss molecule right away. Throughout the day, just like check in with my breath. Sometimes count how fast or how slow I'm breathing and just pace it a little bit to get back into that flow. Do my yoga. I also go to the gym, go to different classes, but I like to move every day. And then before bed as well, kind of vision board or go to my visualizations and see where I want myself to be, how I want to feel, where I want my life to go. And then speaking of like moving every day, a new thing I'm going to do this year, because I work in front of the computer now instead of in a classroom with kids, I'm going to turn on a timer on my watch, and like every hour and a half or something, just have a reminder to stretch for 3 minutes or do like squats for 3 minutes or something. So if anyone's listening and wants a little routine, works from home or online and wants these, let me know and we'll do it together.
Doesn't your phone, something else I manifested was a free iPhone. No, iWatch.
Ooh,
my
nice.
new iWatch, which tracks my heart rate at variable, which I love. It does make me stand up every hour, which I decide to actually do some stretching. Like it's not just stand up off the chair.
Okay. But when I was in class, I would get like awards, like you've done 10,000 steps. Like it never told me to stand up.
No, I don't want it to do
up all the time. And I actually don't even wear it because I got annoyed. So I'm putting it back on.
There you go. There you go. I don't use the breathe one because I choose to do that with the kids when the time is right. But I do stand up. Well, actually, within the class, I'm practicing my breathing most of the time, like really practicing being mindful and guiding
like
that.
That is when so some of my computer work is going through emails, or sometimes it's more of like a boring task. So if I compare that with breathing, it just flows much better.
Yeah. Well, also in the classroom.
Yeah.
Practice for me, being mindful and present in the classroom has saved my sanity, really. I feel like the fact that my lessons flow really smoothly pretty much all of the time is because of my efforts to prepare my mind, mentally get in a state of flow before the class starts. And there is certain tensions or things happening, I practice on myself first. I bring myself to a state of like my nervous system is totally calm and allow the situation to just disperse. It's sort of itself like dissolves on its own. Certain situations when I'm like acting in a way of just calm presence more than interfering or solution based.
So you'll have to tell one of these stories in another episode. Like
we'll have a class on that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool.
So this year I'm excited. We're underway. I feel like January is a little bit quicker than usually. January I'm like, I'm not ready to start, let me take my time. But this year I feel like it's going to go a little bit quicker, and I feel ready for it already, like coming into it.
So when do you go back? Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm also separate from that as well. Like, well, no big deal. Like I'm just enjoying being,
because you've got big plans.
Yeah, this year is exciting. So one of the other key words that I want to add, so the 4 that I mentioned were my authentic code, let's say, so core values, no? But I'm working towards, like last year I was working towards experiences, this year I'm working towards wealth and travel.
Okay.
So
I was afraid to ask, or if like, should we say this? Will this weaken our intention, like saying it beforehand?
This weekend?
No, like what our actual aim or intention, like you just
called
it. You said it's wealth. Like I guess you feel certain in your manifestation, so it's okay. But like, if there's that doubt in your mind and you call it out and like share it too
Yeah,
soon,
too soon. Well,
you,
don't.
yeah,
But I have no doubt. Like I am living in
you are 100%
certainty.
good.
There we go.
Yes.
Free of doubt.
Confident.
Finally. Yeah, no,
Yes.
I feel like that's happening. That is happening.
All
No
right.
way around
Love
it.
it. I love it. So I feel like mine, it's happening, but
Don't say it.
there,
Don't say it.
no, I
We
feel
got
like
to
it
work
needs
on
to
that.
be exposed after. I'm not pre-exposing it. Like you're gonna hear it, I'll show all the evidence lined up, but like after the fact, just because I don't want outside energies influencing
Yeah. What
how
I'm
fast
not,
or how it happened.
I suppose what I'm not going to be checking in on is anyone asking me, so how's it going? Like it's nothing to do with you. This is all my inner. And it really
Yeah,
matters to nobody what
yeah,
my words are.
yeah.
It just feels that, especially with the evidence of last year, I now see to believe that I can create from
Mm-hmm.
setting an intention. And I have evidence of those results.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't a fluke. That wasn't a one-off. I don't think that so many
No,
circumstances that were created over the year and things that I haven't even mentioned, that happened was not just by chance or circumstance. It was a creation. It is being created along the way.
mm-hmm.
And so why is wealth any different?
Exactly. Like I don't think it is any different unless it creates some sort of doubt in you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And
Yeah.
maybe
You were 100%.
last year those words would have. And so I am so excited about this year.
Excellent.
So should we leave it there for today?
Yes.
Wonderful. And so look forward to speaking next week. And yeah,
Okay.
thank you all for listening. And
Okay.